Hi, welcome to another survival skills video. The reason why I call it survival skills is all about saving money. One of the ways to save money is to do your own oil change. Today I'm going to be doing an oil change on a 2012 Honda Civic. Here I have a Honda oil filter that I managed to get in bulk online for significantly less. I'm going to put in full synthetic. Be careful with people trying to sell you a synthetic blend. Always, I prefer a full synthetic. There was a major auto manufacturer, starts with a T, happens to be a Japanese company, that had engine oil sludge problem, and had people use a full synthetic, they would never have experienced those engine problems. I had lifted up the car. I like driving up a ramp. Since this is a front drive car, it's significantly easier to drive up a ramp. Now, if you're a rear wheel drive car, it may push the ramp forward. So front drive, this is perfect for it. I have this lift here just for precaution. So when I get under the car, if that fails for whatever reason, this would hold up the car. I also put tire stops back here. And you can get all these at any automotive supply store. Now, skid plate's removed. Here's the oil pan drain plug. And over here is the oil filter. So if you're facing the front of the car, the oil filter is to the left. Okay, here we are. I'm using a 17mm wrench, and I'm going to loosen this. Okay, and I'm going to loosen it by hand, and be careful, the oil may be a little warm. Have the oil pan as far as you can. Okay, there we go. So as you see, that as the oil comes out, it starts to drip forward. But instead of going through all this trouble and dirtying my hands, I'm going to replace that with one of these qwik valves, and whereby you just lift the lever, you put a pipe on, plastic pipe on here, and you'll stop all the mess. Makes oil changing much quicker and cleaner. So we'll let that drain for a few 5 more minutes. So it's still dripping just slightly, and I'll just open the drain valve. I'm going to open this valve. As you can see, it drains. Okay, I'm going to let it drain a little bit more before I start to remove the oil filter. Now I'm about to remove the oil filter. I've placed some newspaper here because Honda's notorious for putting an oil filter whereby when you remove it, it drains onto everything else, and you have a mess on your hand. And I like to use this wrench to remove it. Oops. Okay, now that I've loosened it, it's going to be a little bit messy. Okay, now that it stopped leaking, I'm going to remove the oil filter completely. Once it stops leaking, I had already pre-lubed the new oil filter where the threads are and the rubber. only hand tighten and not too far, because I have managed to break the rubber seal once already, and when I start up the car it just sprayed oil everywhere. I'm gonna hit this drain pipe to see if there's any more oil, residual oil, and you can see there is. And we'll let that drain for a few minutes. First we have to open the hood, and the open hood location is right down here. You pop that. Right underneath, probably dead center, there's a little lever. You push up on it, and you, with the other hand, you lift the hood. That unlatches, and hold the hood up with one hand, locate this bar, and you see that there's a little square hole there. You stick this bar there and it holds it in place. And here's the oil cap. We'll remove that. Put that right here. I'm going to put a funnel. And this car, being the Civic LX, it takes it has the 1.8 liter inline four-cylinder engine, and it takes 4 quarts of oil. So I'm going to start putting these in here. Okay, now that I'm done putting the oil into the car, I'll put the cap back. Note that I have my oil pan and my oil collector right under the car. Specifically, will be nice under the oil filter. So when I start the car up, if something goes wrong, it would hopefully it will leak in here. I'm going to check for leaks. And everything looks good. So now I'm going to put the metal plate back. Okay, earlier I had used this impact screwdriver to remove the screws. Now that's fine, but putting it back on, that's not the thing to use. It could potentially break some of the little plastic nuts. This is a lot more sensitive and nicer to use, actually, and I should have used this from the beginning. Now this skid plate is a little tricky. Make sure you line it up just right. There's a hook in the back, and then you have to slide it forward in the front here also in order for it to fit. Okay, and we are done. The very last item you would want to do, although it's pretty clear that we put the right amount of oil in there, you do want to double check the oil by checking the level of the oil by checking the dipstick. In my case, I had on a ramp, and since it was at an angle, it will not give you an accurate reading. In fact, it gave me no oil at all. So I moved the car off the ramp. Now we're on a level surface, and I'm going to pull this out, and as you can see, the oil is up to here. So with a clean paper towel that I've been using quite a bit on this checking, we are good to go, and we're done. Thank you for watching.